Hi guys, so both Tory candidates to replace Boris Johnson are shifting significantly to the right when it comes to narrative and when it comes to policies. We've heard before from the likes of Grant Shapps, the Transport Secretary, who claimed that his government would introduce legislation to deal with what he called militant striking workers. Both Truss and Sunak know that they need to appear tough on strikers, and perhaps Liz sees herself as the breaker of unions, like her idol Margaret Thatcher. Here she claims that the travelling public are being held ransom by militant unions. Have a listen.
Big strike on the railways tomorrow. If you were Prime Minister, what would you do about it?
I would legislate to make sure there are essential services on our railway. It is completely wrong that the travelling public are being held ransom by militant unions. We can't allow that to happen. We need to make sure our essential services run. As I've said, I'm on the side of people who work hard, who go into work, who want to run their businesses. We can't see them hampered by the activities of these militant unions.
Look, in the space of 30 seconds, she used the term militant unions twice. Now, she didn't say anything about showing leadership here. She didn't say, I will meet with both sides, I will bring them together, I will even force a settlement. No, I'm going to create legislation that's going to make it impossible, or practically impossible, for these people to go on strike. That's not leadership. How is that resolving the problems that these workers are facing? How is this dealing with their grievances? These people are going on strike for a reason. They're not going on strike just because they like going on strike. There's a real cost for many of them. Many of them are going without pay. This is their last resort. And your solution is, I'm going to create legislation to stop it. Once again, this is not leadership.
People who work hard as well, they work on the railways and for the train companies.
Well, those people are well rewarded for the work they do.
Not all of them. Some of them earn a significant amount of money, others do not, and that's why they're going on strike, for better pay and better conditions. Some people have been experiencing a pay freeze for years, so they're not just suffering the cost of living crisis of this year, but also the one from last year. They're suffering the consequences of inflation that has been going on for a period now. This is not just some people who are well off and just want to strike. This is about people, many people, and we've heard this before, this idea that, oh, well, it's just the train drivers and they earn a lot of money, when in reality, later on the train drivers were striking, but at the very beginning it was ticket collecting staff, ticket selling staff, it was cleaners, it was other people who work at the station, not drivers.
And what is wrong is to try and hold the travelling public to ransom. I will take a tough line on trade union action that is not helping people get on in life.
Yeah, Mick Lynch, the boss at the RMT, has said that your attack on trade union and civil rights is the biggest since labour unions were legalised in 1871. He says that you are robbing working people of a key democratic right, and that if these proposals become law, there will be the biggest resistance mounted by the entire trade union movement, rivalling the general strike of 1926.
Well, I don't take any notice of these bellicose threats.
Well, I'm not going to listen to the people who are representing those workers who are concerned, who are out striking. Once again, and I said this before, leadership would be, I'm going to meet with the unions, I'm going to meet with the companies, I'm going to bring both sides together, or I'm going to at least try, and I'm going to force some sort of settlement. Either I force the unions into a compromise, or I force the companies into a compromise. It may not be liked on either side, but you would actually be seen as a leader. I think this would actually boost her standing. But instead, no, I'm going to legislate.
I'm on the side of the travelling public who need to get into work to do their jobs. We're facing a global economic crisis. It's completely irresponsible of the trade unions to call these strikes at the time as we're seeking to get the economy going. And I will legislate to make sure that those core services are provided to the public.
Big strike on the railway.
So it's about legislation. It's not actually about fixing the problem. So if the people go on strike, I'm going to make it illegal. And then what do you think is going to happen? They will call a general strike. They will say, well, you can try and arrest us. You can send your police. We don't care. We're going to go on a general strike because we have nothing to lose. You're actually fueling more strikes by doing this. The way to resolve this is to mediate, is to sit down with both sides and try and hammer out a deal. To use the power you have as Prime Minister to influence both sides to come to an agreement. That would be leadership. Not, I'm going to force something through Parliament and make it illegal to protest, legal to go on strike. And if you do go on strike, well, we'll just replace you with agency staff. There, problem solved. No, that creates another problem. But I don't think Liz Truss is interested in fixing problems. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.